Hello, my name's John Price, and this is a short video on the losing trick count, a method whereby duplicate bridge players evaluate their hand. Let's have a look at a hand. And we're going to use the traditional point system that you're sure to have learned when you first learned bridge. Here's the hand. Okay, you all know that for a jack, you get 1 point. Okay, for an ace, that's 4 points, so that's 5 so far. 9, 10, 11, 12. So this has got a 12 points for the high cards that you've got. So does that mean this is a 12-point hand? No. This has got 12 high card points. So when you first learn bridge, you use just the high cards and you give each of those high cards, the ace, the king, the queen, and the jack, a point value, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and just add that up. But if you continue to rely just on the high card point system, you're dead in the water straight away. You have to look at the hand in a different way. And we're going to start off with doing the high card points, but then we might add or possibly even subtract points to get the whole evaluated point card system for this particular hand. Now, we've looked at the high cards, but what else is good about this particular hand? Well, one thing is great is all of those clubs. If I was going to bid a suit, I'd need to have 4 of them. But this has got 6. That's 2 extra. So one of the things that we do to enhance the evaluation of a hand is to award a point for each extra card you've got in a suit above 4, up to a maximum of 2. So I evaluate this hand here as being 12 high card points, but I'm going to give myself 2 extra for those 2 extra clubs. I evaluate this as a 14-point hand, and that's not high card points. It's surprising how many good bridge players forget about this business of adding or possibly subtracting from the high card points. They just stuck with that original system that they learned when they were beginners. Now you might point out that, John, there are some other good points about this hand. You've got that singleton 8 of diamonds. Isn't that good? Well, yes, it will be great if, as long as diamonds aren't trumps, for example, or as long as you're not going to be playing in no trumps. In either of those cases, then having a singleton 8 is horrible. The doubleton, the jack and the 7, that could be useful, but again, it won't be useful in no trumps, and it certainly won't be useful if trumps are spades. So let's not do anything about that yet. Right, so we've got an opening hand here. It's 12 to 14 points in that particular range. It's a 14-point hand. So if I was opening, then I'd want to start with 1 club, and then my second bid could either be 1 heart, if I could sneak that in, or if my partner responded, say, 1 spade, then I couldn't go 2 hearts, because that would indicate I've got a much better hand. I'd have broken through the magic barrier. When you open 1 club, imagine a barrier of 2 clubs. If you break through that and go above it, it's indicating a really good hand of 15 points or more. So, but I could repeat my clubs and I could go 2 clubs. But it's not me to bid. It's actually my partner dealt, and my partner is going to bid or pass. Let's have a look at the bidding. Oh my goodness. My partner West has opened 1 heart and North has passed. Now what am I going to bid? Well, all of a sudden, I'm going to re-evaluate my hand. Yes, the value of your hand can change. You've still got the same cards, but now you've got some more information. The critical information here is your partner's got an opening hand and she's got at least 4 hearts. We've got 4 hearts. 4 plus 4 is 8. That's the magic number. If you want to go in a suit contract, you want to go in a suit where you've got 8 or more. When you've got 8 or more of a suit, they say you've got a fit in that suit. And we've got a fit in hearts. One of the major suits, you get lots of points for that, more than diamonds and clubs. This is good news. So what you must do now is to re-evaluate your hand so that in the point system, your hand can change its value as the bidding progresses and more information comes in. Now, in this case, once you know you've got a fit in a particular suit, then you can re-look at that 8 of diamonds. That's now a singleton that would be, if hearts were trumps, and it's certainly looking like that, then that would be really valuable. In fact, I would award 3 extra points for a singleton. And the same is true of that doubleton. It's not as good as the singleton, but it's worth something extra. And I would award 1 extra point for that doubleton. So all of a sudden, my new evaluation is this. Still got 12 high card points, and I've still got those long clubs. That's great. But now, and only now, I'm going to give myself an extra 3 for the singleton, an extra 1 for the doubleton. My gosh, this is an 18-point hand. It has only got 12 high card points, but it's much stronger than 12 points would indicate. I reckon this is an 18-point hand. Now your partner has opened, so she's got 12 points or more. 12 plus 18 is 30 points. You are now well above bidding a game, and you're in the possible slam region. Now that's going to change your bidding. You can't use fancy conventions or even your basic conventions unless you evaluate your hand properly. And in this case, all of a sudden, now my bidding, whatever I'm going to bid, is based on a hand of 18 points. Now, if it was my choice, I would bid a simple 2 clubs. You might think, oh my goodness, I have to tell my partner how good my hand is. No, you don't. What you want to do is to find out from your partner how good their hand is. And they're dying to tell you. When your partner opened 1 heart, she had in mind another bid which will describe her hand fully. So let's keep the bidding as low as possible to let her make that second bid. And then you can make a decision. As long as you bid a new suit, that's important, then your partner is obliged to make that second bid that they're prepared for anyway. If you're thinking, well, I'd like to go into hearts, or, I've decided in my head that we're going to be bidding a game in hearts. Well, if you go 2 hearts, that's a limited bid. It's actually saying you've got a fairly weak hand and that cuts the bidding. Your partner can pass. And the same is true if you go 3 hearts or even 4 hearts. You don't want to rule those out. So just go for bidding a different suit and then the bidding will progress. Let's have a look at another hand. Okay. Again, let's do the high card points first. 2 aces, that's 8 points. And a king, that is 11 high card points. But we've got 5 diamonds. Well, that's 1 extra for the length. So my initial evaluation is 11 high card points and 1 for an extra diamond. This is a 12-point hand. But what about the bidding? Here we go. Right, my partner opened one heart. Good. That's interesting. My partner's got 4 or more hearts. Well, I've got 3, but 4 plus 3 is only 7. So let's not get too excited yet. But it's still, I've got more than 10 points, so I can bid at the 2 level. And my natural bid is 2 diamonds. The opponents pass, and now my partner comes in with this magic second bid of 2 hearts. She now has described her hand pretty well fully. She has got 5 hearts because she's repeated the hearts. 5 hearts or more. Also, it's a limited bid, so she's got 12 to 14 points. But wait a minute, if she's got 5 hearts and I've got 3 to the ace, that's the magic 8. That's great information because now I can re-evaluate my hand. And all of a sudden, that singleton 10 of spades suddenly is becoming very, very nice. So now for my next bid, I'm bidding with a new hand, with new points, because the new evaluation, I'm adding an extra 3 for the singleton. So I've got a 15-point hand. Now, whatever you're going to bid next, it'll be based on 15 points from you and at least 12 from your partner. Gosh, well, that's at least 27 points. I'd be thinking that 4 hearts would be a pretty good bid, but that's not the point here. What we're doing here is evaluating a hand in a more correct way. Now, the point of this video is to talk about the losing trick system, and that's a different way of evaluating your hand. Well, if you can do it using the point system, why do you want a different way? That's only going to confuse you. Well, it's this. Lots of people, once they evaluate their hand using the point system, that's it. It's fixed in their head, and they often forget to re-evaluate and come out with a new point value. Whereas if you use the losing trick system, which I'll explain shortly, then that sort of motivates you to look at the hand again in a different way. And it does this business of making you re-evaluate your hand. But let's just go for the point system again. One last example here. Okay, this has got, right, well, we've got 4, 7, 11 high card points, nothing for length. Okay, well, this is an 11-point hand, is it? No, it's not. When you've got a 4-3-3-3 shape, that's a horrible hand. That's a horrible shape. And I would recommend that you always subtract 1 for such a hand. So, although this has got 11 high card points, I would class this as a 10-point hand. Okay, well, that's my first evaluation. Now let's look at the bidding. Oh, my partner's opened again. 1 heart, pass. Now what am I going to bid? I've got 10 points. So, how am I going to describe this hand? Well, could I bid a different suit? I want to, because that will enable my partner to display her hand in a great way with that magic second bid. And I have got a suit. I've got a 4-card suit. I know you're looking at that saying 4 spades to the 9. I don't want to be in a contract with that. Well, you would if your partner's got lots of spades. The important thing is you're just going to keep the bidding going. So there's nothing wrong with bidding 1 spade. It's a new suit, so your partner has to bid the second bid, and she has done. It's 2 hearts. Fine, that describes her hand fully. It means she's got 5 hearts. Good. And she's got 12 to 14 points. Right. Well, that's good. If she's got 5 hearts and you've got 3 hearts to the ace, you've got a fit in hearts. So what about reevaluating the hand? It's still the same because we haven't got any singletons or doubletons or even a void. That would be exciting to get a void. No, this is still a 10-point hand and your partner's got 12 to 14 points. Not enough for game. Well, it's up to you what system you use as to what your next bid is, but it'll be based on a hand of 10 points, not 11 high card points. Okay, let's just recap. What can you add or subtract to reevaluate your hand? Well, firstly, you only do it when you know that you've got at least 8 cards in a particular suit. For a void, you can add an extra 5 points, or possibly 4. For a singleton, 3 points, or maybe 2. A doubleton, 1 point, or maybe none. Why is this extra number, the 4, the 2, and the 0 come in? Well, go for the smaller number if you know that your hand will have the most trumps in it. In all of the examples we had before, your partner indicated that they've got 5 of a suit, and we had 3. So we've got the smaller hand, we've got the least amount of trumps, so we can go for the bigger number. Right. Well, we could finish here. You've now learned to reevaluate your hand, but a lot of people forget that. So let's try learning a different system which will help you to not forget to reevaluate your hand. It's called the losing trick method. Okay, this is it. Firstly, you only use the method when you've got a fit. That's at least 8 cards in the suit. So when you initially evaluate your hand, you can't use the losing trick system. You can only use it when you know that you've got 8 cards in between you in a partnership. Right, let's assume that happens. What do you do then? You look at the top 3 cards in each suit. Hey, you might have 5 cards in a particular suit. You just look at the 3 highest of those cards, and the other 2, the 2 small ones, they don't join in this method. Then what you do is you count how many losers you've got in each suit. Remember, only the top 3. Now, it says here that an ace or a king or a queen are winners. All right? Let's just not worry too much about these names. They are the winners, and everything else is a loser. Okay, you've done that for each of the 4 suits. Then you'd get total up for all 4 suits. You'll end up with a number, and then I'll show you in a moment how you deal with that number. But let's go back to our examples and use the losing trick method. Okay, here's the first example here. But the bidding suddenly indicates that we have got fit in hearts. So now we can use the losing trick system. So we look at the top 3 cards in each of the suits and count how many losers. Let's start with spades. Now, for a start off, we've only got 2 cards. So we can have at most 2 losers. Remember, only the aces, the kings, and the queens are winners. Everything else is losers. So a jack and a 7, they're both losers. That's 2 losers in spades. How many losers have we got in hearts? Have you done the arithmetic? Just look at the first top 3 cards. Forget the 3 of hearts. You got the ace, the 6, and 4. The ace is a winner, but the other 2 are losers. So that's also got 2 losers. Singleton diamond. The 8 of diamonds is a loser, and that's it. You're only counting whatever you've got. So that's a 1 loser from diamonds. And what about clubs? Top 3 cards only. Jack is a loser. So that is 1 loser. So my count is 2 in spades, 2 in hearts, 1 in diamonds, and 1 in clubs. That's a 6 loser hand. Okay, bear with me. We'll decide what you do with this number 6 in a moment. But it's easy. Let's look at the second example here. You wait till the bidding tells you you've got a fit. The bidding suddenly said when your partner went 2 hearts, we have a fit in hearts. She's got at least 5 and we have got 3. So reevaluate. Loses again. Spades. 10 is a loser. But that's all you've got. That's 1 loser. Hearts. You've got 2 losers, the 8 and the 7, because the ace is a winner. Diamonds. Only look at the top 3 cards. The ace is a winner, the 9 and the 5 are losers. That's 2 losers. And clubs, the king's a winner. The 9 and the 5 are losers. That's 2 losers. Add them up. 1 in spades, 2 in hearts, 2 in diamonds, and 2 in clubs. That's 7. This is a 7 loser hand. By the way, you might notice the better the hand, the less losers you've got. Let's look at the last example. Okay. All of a sudden again, we've got a match in hearts. We have a fit. So let's look at the losing trick system on here. Spades. 9, 8, and 5. That's 3 losers. Hearts. 10 and 7. 2 extra losers. That's, King. 4 and 3. 4 and 3 are losers. That's 2 in diamonds and 2 in clubs. Oh, that's quite a lot, actually. 3 in spades. 2, 2 and 2. That is 9 loser hand. Yeah, well, I'm not surprised, really. I evaluated it as 10 points, and it was still 10 points even with a fit. And that sort of describes a 9 loser hand. So let me tell you something about sort of comparison with the point system. If you've got a 9 loser hand, that's sort of like a minimum hand to respond with. It would probably be 6 to 9 points in the point system. It's that sort of hand. You can respond, but you don't want to go very high. That's a 9 loser hand. What about an opening hand? Well, that's a 7 loser hand. Opening hands, most opening hands, when we're talking about here 12 to 14 points, you're pleased you can open, but it's not all that great, but it's good. That will have 7 losers. This is not always the case. The losing trick system is not the same as the point system. It's a different one. You're looking at a hand in a different way, but I'm trying to give you a rough comparison with the point system. So 9 loser, basic responding hand. 7 loser, you've got an opening hand. 6 loser, you've got a rather good opening hand. You know, that might be 15 to 17 points. But it's not. It's losers. But 6 loser hand is a very good hand. And a 5 loser hand, wow, that would be terrific. Sort of equivalent to 18 points or more. Okay, the less losers you've got, the better the hand. Now, how can this affect the bidding? This is what you do. You come up with the total. Then you have to make a judgment. Well, okay, it's a guess on how many losers your partner has got. Well, all you've got to go on there is their bidding. Well, a basic opening hand will usually have a 7 loser hand, right? So if your partner has opened, but then indicated through the bidding that that's it, partner, you know, I've got an opening hand, but not all that great, then you can say, I think she's got a 7 loser hand. Now, a warning here. that when people open a weak no trump, you'd be surprised how often that's got an 8 loser hand. Well, when people open one no trump in ACOL, they're sort of heading towards, they're thinking about a no trump contract. And this is all about going in a suit contract, nothing to do with a no trump contract. Okay, and we decided a basic responding hand will have 9 losers. So if you've opened and your partner has responded, you can estimate that they've got at most 9 losers, though it might be better. Okay, so then you've come up with a guess about your partner. Now what you have to do is do a bit of arithmetic. You have to add your losers to your guess about what your partner's got. That'll give you a total, a grand total. And then you have to take this grand total away from 18. Are you keeping up with this? No, it's not that complicated. And I know it's a bit of arithmetic, but gosh, these aren't big numbers at all. So you've added the two totals from you and your partner, and you've taken it away from 18, and that final answer is the key to how high you should bid. In the example, if you've chosen suit is hearts and your grand total is 3, then this final answer is 3, then you could bid up to 3 hearts, but no higher. Okay, let's have a look at the examples here. First one, your partner opened and we have got a 6 loser hand. Your partner opened 7 losers, or possibly even less. And we've got a 6 loser hand. That is brilliant. 7 plus 6 is 13. Are you with me? 13 away from 18 is 5. So this is suggesting we can go all the way up to 5 hearts with confidence. Maybe more, because your partner's got a 7 loser hand, but it might be better. She may have a 6 loser hand. We haven't heard her second bid yet. So already you're beginning to think in terms of slams. So there we go. You can bid up to 5 hearts now with confidence, but maybe with the next bid from your partner, you might be able to bid even higher. She might have less losers. Next hand. Your partner opened, so you can estimate that she's got a 7 loser hand. You see, she went 1 heart, then 2 hearts. You can guess that's a 7 loser hand. And we've got a 7 loser hand. 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 taken away from 18 is 4. Are you following me? So we can bid with confidence up to 4 hearts. Again, I'm not saying that you have to do it straight away. You can use all sorts of various systems, or you could go straight away. It's just that you've got a new feeling about this hand. You can be pretty confident here of going for a game contract of 4 hearts. The losing system has told you that. And the last one. Okay. Well, looking from the bidding, your partner's gone 1 heart, then 2 hearts. They've got a basic opening hand. 7 losers. And we've looked at our hand. 9 losers. 7 plus 9, 16. 16 taken away from 18 is 2. That's about the highest you want to go. So you can bid with confidence up to 2 hearts. Well, your partner's already done that. Do you know what I'm saying here? I think this means that you will pass her bid of 2 hearts, because that's as high as you can safely go. Okay, well, we're there. But here's a warning. The point system that you learned when you first learned bridge was the high card trick, high card points. And then very quickly you moved on from there and started adding or possibly subtracting to get the points system. But it's a flawed system. It's not perfect in any way. I've given you now a second system, but it's as equally flawed as the point system. It's just that it's a different view of a hand. So combining the two together, starting off with your points system, and then when you reevaluate with your losing trick system, and possibly if you want to with the point system as well, gives you two views on a hand, and then you can make a judgment. But the important thing is with the losing trick system, you will reevaluate. You won't forget to do that. And it's surprising that with some hands you thought initially was, this isn't very exciting. When you reevaluate, you realize this is a pretty good hand, and I'm going to bid confidently onto a game bid, though you would never have thought about that when you first picked up the hand. So, in summary, if you like the idea, but it's too much to take in, forget it. That's all right. But as long as you do the reevaluation under the point system. Or you could use this new system because it's a lovely way of looking at a completely new look at your hand. But a reminder again, both systems are flawed. But if you use both, it gives you a much better chance of ending up with the right contract. Thanks for listening.